Hey everyone, Mango7Roll here. How we doing today? Welcome to another episode of Epic 7. And today we're just going to talk a little bit about the tools I use to enhance my E7 experience. A lot of these are probably known to most of you already, especially since I've shown them off on stream as well a lot. But let's just get into this and talk about each tool I use and why I love them so much. So the first one is done by Budandan. You can see at the top here, Budandan 1947 on Discord. As a preemptive note here, I've talked to both Budandan and Maf, two of the big tool makers, a lot on Discord, and they're both wonderful and have both been extremely communicative and open to adding features. So if you ever want a feature to one of these things, maybe send them a PM or send me a PM on Discord and I can see if it's a good idea and maybe talk with them about it. Because a lot of these features and quality of life on these websites have been implemented from feedback, which is awesome. So anyways, this is the lab team optimizer. I don't think you can even do lab without this. Like, what do people do if they don't have this tool? All will be in the description below as well. So the way it works is you add all of the units you want to your roster there, and you can pick whatever thing you want. Like, let's say, for example, I don't have haste yet, so I can add in Blood Moon haste here. And then there are advanced features as well. So what we can do here is select having at least one Soul Weaver, at least two Soul Weavers, have at least one Knight. That's if you want to have like an Aureus or something like that, just to kind of get it going. And you can also add a defense break as well. So there's a ton of things you can do in terms of narrowing down your search options. The way I personally use it is I don't go straight by morale here. I pick the units I want to add to my team. So for example, I know I really like to have Tamarin on my team, so I lock my Tamarin. I then know somebody like Commander Lorena is a really good camper, so I add in the Commander Lorena as well. And then let's say Dizzy just makes my life so much easier, so why not add Dizzy as well? So now that we have 3 added up, we can hit find our 4th. And what this does is bring you up a list of your 3 main people. So we have your Tamarin, Lorena, Dizzy, and then it orders them by score, ordered all the way down with the slots at the end. You can see adding Roana to this team gives you 41 morale here as well, and you can see what to do here. My personal favorite, of course, is going to be the one in the 5th slot, which is the double A Momo camp option, which is why I like this. I don't have to think about what I want to camp with. I just know I pick both Angelic Momo's options here. You also don't have to do it just with 3 and then find my 4th. For example, if I really want to use somebody like, let's see here. I really want to use Guider Aether and Angelic Montmorency together. What I can do is just calculate with those 2 locked, and it will then calculate who they work well with. So the best teams with Guider Aether and Angelic Montmorency are going to have Commander Lorena and Violet as well. So you have a ton of freedom with this, and you can kind of tailor whatever you want to work with it in terms of your team, and that's what I really like about it. And let's take a look at the Epic 7 damage calculator here. This is done by Maf, one of the best ways to figure out gear. Also, big shout out to Maf here. Link in the description below if you want to use this tool, and he has been very helpful, implemented a lot of very quality of life features for people like me who don't really care too much about specifics. A really good example of this is the top right manual thing. Something like this was feedback I gave to him to try to give me opportunities to do this without really messing with it and just getting ideas. So let's just do elite balance here. 5,000 attack, 300 crit damage. That's a lot, but doable with Sermiat. We can then choose Portrait of Saviors. We can choose what level we want here. We can change her attack a little bit more. We can give her an attack imprint if we wanted. We can change her crit damage. We can change the defense the target is on here. So let's say they're on 1,000 defense. Let's just keep it as that. We can also give them Seaside Bologna's passive to see how much damage we do through that. We can add damage reduction. There's so much we can do here. It's so in-depth, and it covers basically everything. And this is exactly what you want to use if you're trying to figure out if X is better than Y. So for example, if you're sitting there being like, I don't know if 3,000 attack is better than 2,000 attack and higher crit damage, or something like that. Or if you're on the opposite end of the spectrum, let's say you're trying to figure out tank stats for one of your units, you can mess with their defense here and put them up against other different DPS units and see if you can survive those hits. So it's a really good way to figure out if you're going to survive, how much you're going to survive by, how much damage you're going to do. An amazing tool if you want to take the time to really go through this. Me personally, I don't use this too much, but I know my community does, and I know my guild does a lot. I'm always asking. I'm always that guy who's like, which one of these is better? And they're like, put it in the darn tool, Mango. I'm like, can you do it for me? And they do. Thank you. You guys are awesome. There's also an effectiveness checker, which I've never seen before. This is the first time I'm clicking this, but that's the great part about Math and Budandan, is they're always adding new things here. So we can say skill effect chance 100%. So this is the skill effect chance on the skill itself, not your effectiveness. You can add something like 150 effectiveness to your unit. And then you can add target's effect resistance to whatever here. And then will it work? It does work. Cool. I've never used this before. So this can give you an idea of how much chance you have to land a debuff here. That's awesome. Thank you for adding this map. That's great. And speaking of other things Math has added, and this is my favorite one, actually, this is going to be E7 Leaks. My new favorite tool. It's like my place I go to 24/7. This has basically all the information we need, and specifically timers. It has timers for all of the things. It has a free equipment event ending here. If an event is starting, it'll have another countdown until that event starts. So all the things you need to know are right here, and you can get it without going through the in-game timers and everything like that, which are always wrong. And I love this. It also gives you an idea of when things are coming. These aren't confirmed, which I believe is probably in the disclaimer here, but they're things that are kind of announced and kind of expected. As you can see, he has the maybe with the side story, maybe with the rose, ML Violet and Mystic Rotation. 11 days! Holy, that's so exciting! That's so exciting. I totally forgot about that. And that's why I love this thing here. It also shows you if there's maintenance. No maintenance in 4 days, apparently, so far, which is great. You can also click on Europe or Asia to get different ideas here too. They show the past patches, dev notes, everything you need is on this site, and I love it. This is my favorite thing they've ever done. One last tool here, and this is going to be epic7x.com. This is a website I use every now and then just to get a little bit of raw stats. Like, this is where I go to if I just want to get the stats shown in a presentable way, sortable and obtainable. What I mean by this is, let's say I have a flat HP ring and I want to know who might be good options for it. One of the ways I can do this is to go over here, go to their stats filter, and then go by 5-star or search by all. We can then hit health and we can sort by health. This sorts by the lowest HP, and we can see here all these people with atrociously low HP, and these are the ones that are probably gonna get a decent use out of flat HP. We can see Tamarin here at around 4,400, which is kind of the middle ground for whether or not it's worth it. You can also sort by so many other things, like you can sort by people that have their attack rates. You can sort by everything you want. Also, there's skill multipliers as well for stuff like this too. There's just endless amounts of data here that you can kind of use to your own advantage. And the last thing we're going to talk about here is something I use to play E7 24/7, and that is obviously going to be BlueStacks 4. If you want to download the game, you can use BlueStacks 4 in the link description below. It's an affiliate link, so I get stuff back every time you click that link, but it's what I use for everything. It's been running in the background. It has its ups and downs, to be entirely honest. Some days it's the best thing in the world, and it's buttery smooth and amazing, and some days it's kind of a little bit laggy, but whenever that happens, I just update it, and it usually fixes. So yeah, these are all the tools I use, and all of them I think enhance my gameplay a lot, and I'm pretty happy with all of them. I actually can't even realistically think of anything I want to see in this game in terms of more tools. In Summoner's War back then, which has a very similar system, we had an equipment optimizer thing, which was a secondary application we had that imported all of our gear into the application, and then we could mess with it through that, and it was amazing. It was the best tool ever over there. You could min-max stuff with an optimizer automatically. It was fantastic, but I don't know if that's something that's doable here. I know we have similar things now. We also have another optimizer which some people use, and from what I understand, you have to import all the stats manually, at least, or with screenshots. which is something I'm not really okay with, which is why I don't use it. So yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this. If you have any tools I might have missed, if you use anything that is not here, please let me know in the comments below, and maybe I can take a look at it after. And if you have any feedback for Mather Bundandan or anybody else making tools like this, please let me know in the comments as well. Please give them a shout. Give them some love. Without them, our life with E7 would be a lot worse. So thank you so much for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe as always, and check out all these tools in the description below. Bye, everybody!